Afternoon guys, how you doing? It's me, Tree. Welcome to my channel again, and today I'm going to share something different with you. It's obviously kind of like frugally related. It's about my pets and how we feed our pets. So I'm going to share with you a little, excuse me, I've got a scratch on my nose, but I'm going to share with you a little shopping food haul, but it's for the pets. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I've not done one of these before. I'm not quite sure if you're interested in this, but this is how we feed our pets. So we've got 2 cats and 2 dogs. So we've got the 2 cats are Mingle and Dave. So they're both girls. Mingle's a half Siamese cat, so she makes a lot of noise and she tells you off a lot with her meowing. And she's 17 and a half. In fact, she's 18 in April. So she's an elderly cat. And Dave is a just normal, fluffy, white, tabby. Is it tortoiseshell? No, she's over there. She's tortoiseshell. I get the two confused. I don't know which one's tortoiseshell and tabby. But anyway, she's white, mostly black and ginger. So that's torty, isn't it? Tortoiseshell. Anyway, if I've got it wrong, somebody I'm sure you will tell me. And so they're the 2 cats, and like I say, she's 10 years old, and we've got 2 dogs. One's my husband's and one's mine. So my husband's got a bulldog called Belle, and I've got a Yorkshire Terrier called Marv. So some years ago I had a Yorkshire Terrier called Archie who eventually in the end he died. He got very sick and he died. And since having a Yorkshire Terrier with Archie, I am absolutely besotted with Yorkshire Terriers. I love those little ankle biters. He's not here at the moment, but I'm sure you've seen pictures of him somewhere. So I will insert pictures here of my pets. So there are our pets, Dave, Mingle, Belle and Marvin. So here's how we feed our animals. We also, you know, keep them save money for any eventualities for like vets and that. We don't have pet insurance. We would rather save the money in an account, a bank account set aside for our pets. And each month I have a budget for our pets on how much we're going to spend on them. So sometimes it's not as much as we always spend. So the amount I have set aside doesn't always get spent on them, so it just gets put in the other account and gets put aside for just an eventuality if we have to have a vet or something unfortunate happens. Fingers crossed, touch wood, hasn't happened all that often. We did have one cat, Mingle, did get run over and she lost a tooth, and you know, she was fine after that, but she just had to have a wonky tooth removed. So we have been quite fortunate with vet bills, but nevertheless we keep saving a few pennies here, there and everywhere. So what I do with my budget, my pet budget, is obviously buy their food each month, and we allow a certain amount each month for things like shampoos and flea droppers and worming tablets, because I don't want those bugs in my house, and I don't want them to suffer either. It's not fair on the animals. And I've just realised I forgot to mention we've got one huge great big fantail goldfish who doesn't really need much sorting out, just needs cleaning and keeping clean and tidy his tank, and just needs a bit of food every now and again, doesn't he? Feeding every day. So he doesn't cost much. I should say he's a he. I don't know if it's a he. I just call him Hannibal Lecter because every time you put your finger to the glass, he tries to bite it. He's quite vicious. So I wouldn't want to handle that fish. I call him he really is the piranha version of a goldfish. But anyway, back to the food haul I'm going to show you, because this has been a long intro. Here's what I brought for the animals. Okay, so this shopping haul is, like I say, for the animals. This is what I brought, and this all came from ALDI's. Pretty much most of the time when I go shopping, let's move that back so you can see it, I buy everything at ALDI's because it's where I have found the cheapest food that the animals will eat. Now, strangely enough, my dogs will not eat, or my cats will not eat the top brand pet, cat food and dog food. The top leading brand, the most expensive, they don't eat it, they don't want it, they don't like it. It just gets left. So they're quite happy with the cheaper versions. So this is what I've done. So if I say any more, I'm going to insert a picture here. Right, so that picture, because I didn't actually video that, I just took a couple of pictures because I knew I might be sharing it with you, is I went to my local Morrison's store a couple of days ago. I needed to get something from the chemist, and I saw those tins of animal food in the reduced aisle, and look at the prices. Isn't that ridiculous? Purely because the boxes were damaged and the bags were damaged. All the pets, all the tins and sachets were there. Crazy. They reduced it. People won't buy that. I buy it. I don't care. The tins were fine. They weren't compromised, and the animals aren't going to get sick from it. And yeah, so I haven't bought as much as I normally would from Aldi's on the tins section here, because I've got those tins that I've just shown you in that picture. So this is what I've brought. I've got the cat food here. So this is the cat's Vita Cat. Now they only do 2 flavours in this version of cat tins. It's just salmon and chicken. And so, like I say, the cats don't eat an awful lot, and they have 1 tin of cat food a day, which is shared over 2 meals. So it's half for breakfast and half for tea in the evening for the 2 cats. But that is combined with the cat biscuits here as well. And they are 2 very small cats, and they don't eat an awful lot. But if they do want more after those initial feeds, I do give them more, but I give them little at a time so we don't waste it. Because quite honestly, our dog Belle, as you can see, is a bulldog. She will eat it. She is food obsessed, that dog. She's fed till the cows come home, but she will still eat what she sees. She's obsessed with food, and I can't blame her because food's lovely. And so there's 24 tins here of that cat food. Like I say, I've got some other food in the cupboard, so that's enough to see us through to the end of the month. In fact, that's more than enough for the end of this month. That will carry over into December. And so the dogs here, we've got 5 packets here of these 6 packets of, well, we've got 3 of the loaf and 3 of the jelly. Now, they don't like the gravy, and I don't like giving them the gravy, because I tell you why, it gets really messy. When you've got a bulldog who slobbers like nobody's business, then yeah, jelly's not the gravy's not a good idea. And in fact, I don't think it's good value for money, because you're going to end up with more gravy than you are meat in those tins. So the loaf and the jelly is a bit, especially the loaf, is a bit more packed. You're getting more for your money, I think, when it comes to meat. So these got those 5 packs there, but I also picked up this one because I had never noticed this one in my local Aldi's. So this is the super meat and tripe. This is probably going to stink when I eat it. But I know they're going to like it, because I know what my dogs are like. Oh yeah, see, look, it says new. So that's why I have never seen it before. So I've got a case of those. So there's 12 there. So with all the other food that I've got, should be enough until definitely the beginning of the month. There won't be enough to run over. They will definitely get used up. I'm hoping it's going to last. And then here I've got a big 10 kilo sack of the dog biscuits. So we've got, what brand it is? It's the Aldi's Earl's Working Dog. I've never tried this one before, but they had run out of the other bigger sack that I usually buy with the softer biscuits in, and I usually buy a different one, which is 10 kilogram. However, I noticed this one was £4.99, where the other one I usually buy is £6.49, so it was about £1.50. Well, it is about £1.50 cheaper. So if they like this one, I'm going to stick with this one in future. And then I have got 2 of these 950 gram boxes of cat food, which is more than enough for the rest of this month. Will definitely see us through to December. So when it comes to December's shopping haul for the, buying the pet food, I will probably only buy one of them next time. And I also buy the pets, like I said, the flea jabbers and the wormers and the shampoo as well. I was buying them in the supermarkets, but I found that you get a better deal if you go online, because you can use cashback as well through Top Cashback. I love going through Top Cashback when I'm buying online, so I save a few pence there, so that's what I usually do. So I've just remembered that I haven't showed you everything that I bought in that Aldi shopping trip. If I just show you what else I brought. Okay, so also, how forgetful of me, I forgot to mention that I bought these 2 dental stick packs for the pets, and these little pocket-filled cat treats, salmon flavour for the cats as little treats. They don't necessarily need these treats, but we like to buy them for them. And the reason I like, obviously for the dog's teeth, but we like to cut these up into little bits for Marvin, because he's quite a clever little trickster. He loves to be occupied by teaching him tricks and roll over, play dead. We pretend to shoot him and then he rolls over, and he does all sorts of tricks and all sorts of things, and he jumps up, and we're trying to get him to walk on his back legs. So we're trying to get him to be a real entertainer. And these are just for the cats because, you know, the kids just like to give them to the cat to fuss them. So we also budget for the pets as well. So like I said, the dog treats for Marvin and Belle, for training, well, especially training Marvin. But we also like to buy them some toys. We don't buy them lots of toys. They have got a little box of toys down in the dining room, and they like to keep them occupied with those, to have a little play. But mainly it's Marvin that plays with the toys, especially the tennis balls. He loves tennis balls. When we take him for a walk, he just come home absolutely crawling on the floor, absolutely worn out, because he loves chasing tennis balls. If you run with a tennis ball but you haven't thrown it, he'll chase you. If you can keep him occupied with a tennis ball, if another dog comes along, so when he sees a tennis ball, he gets obsessed with it. So yeah, we allow for in our budget for any toys. So that's what we do. It's as for grooming, Belle doesn't really particularly need to go to a grooming doggy parlour because she's got short hair, doesn't need clipping. We bath her ourselves. Marvin, we bath ourselves. Well, I have to bath Marvin because no one wants to bath Marvin. But I bath Marvin, and once a year he gets a haircut from the doggy parlour because it's really expensive, like £30 or £40 to keep taking him there. So I take him once a year to give him a really good haircut, or a fur trim, and the rest of the time I keep his fur under control by brushing him because his fur continually keeps growing. So it's down to me to keep doing it. I do cut his fur. If I didn't have the money to have his fur cut, I would cut it. It wouldn't be perfect, but I am able to cut it. But it's not excuse me, it's not sort of like professional fur cut haircut. I keep saying hair, but he hasn't got hair, he's got fur, but you know what I mean. So yeah, so I'm capable of doing my own, so we save some money there, but we do put this money aside just in case. So once a year he gets a little trim to get his hair all nice and sorted. But that's really it for our pets. So, you know, I think that's about it for everything when it comes to budgeting them. So I've told you about the food, the treats, the vets, bills. What else? I've told you about training them, how we train them. You know, well, I didn't say how I train them, but we do train Marvin more than Belle, because she's a lovely dog, but she's quite a lazy dog. She doesn't like really going for walks, so she don't go far for walks. She's a lazy girl. She quite easily sit down if she's had enough, and then you have to try and drag her back because you can't lift up that great big hefty thing. So this pet haul came to £30 and 3p for this month, but like I say, I had those few bits of cat and dog food that I got from Morrison's, and you can see how much they came to as well. So that's it. Until next time, you take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye. Oh, and pop down below how you care for your pets and how much money you spend and what your budget is, if you'd like to share it.